Like I always say, every experience is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. So, my question for you today is that what if the greatest version of you lives just beyond your comfort zone? So, coming back to every experience makes you a better version of yourself. But if we limit our experiences, if we don't allow ourselves to have more experiences in life because we are always trying to play safe, we are always trying to remain within our comfort zone. So, what if the greatest version of you lives just beyond your comfort zone? A little beyond your comfort zone. How wonderful is that? It's interesting that we are so much in our comfort zone that we don't even realize we are in our comfort zone. A long time back, this was back in 1981, late 1981. I used to work for a multinational German company. So my boss, I remember, Mr. Kumar Chandran, he was a wonderful guy and he had the same tastes in reading and other things that I had. So one day he just said to me, Sukhdeepak, there's this workshop coming up. Why don't you go and do it? So I said, sir, will you sponsor it? And he said, listen, aren't you interested in your own growth? And why should somebody always sponsor you for your growth and development? You're doing so well in this company. I think if you do this one, it might make a big difference to you. And I listened to him and I went and did that. Now, poor Mr. Kumar Chandran never realized what he has done. He awakened me to an extent that within a year I was no longer working for his company. Well, that workshop completely made me get out of my comfort zone and started doing things which, uh, very, very careful, risk averse person would never ever do. But if I look back and see if that had not happened, if I had not taken that bold step to get out of my comfort zone, I wouldn't be here talking to you. But what was keeping me inside that comfort zone? Staying within the familiar, not wanting to explore the unknown. So even though I was within the familiar, I was one of those guys who would try things different than anybody else. That's why I had rapid growth in my organization. At the same time, I would make these changes in my way of working, again within something that I was familiar with, not taking a big leap into the unknown. Because, like anybody else, I suppose I was afraid of the unknown. Okay. What if this unknown is not a threat at all? What if it is the birthplace for our next breakthrough in life? I recall one of my gurus used to tell me every breakdown leads to a great breakthrough. So if there is no breakdown, create one. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, create one by doing something so unfamiliar that it looks like a breakdown to you. So let's reframe the unknown. T, H, and E. Yeah. T stands for threshold. It is the edge between who you are and who you can be. Let me repeat that. See, if you reframe your relationship with the unknown, you will be willing to step out of your comfort zone. That's what I believe. So remember 3 letters, THE. T stands for threshold. It is the edge between who you are and who you can be. You know, the outer boundary. I mean, if you go to the other side, you can be. Edge is your hidden potential. Now, what lies beneath the fear, beneath our resistance, is often our deepest capability. There is a lot of hidden potential that we have, which we don't even know that we have because we never stepped out to do it. You can keep thinking, I can do anything, but unless you actually do it, do you believe that you can do it? No, no. So the moment we step out of this comfort zone into an area which we might fear, we might be discovering our deepest capabilities. The last letter is E for expansion zone. Expansion zone. Growth doesn't happen in the known. Expansion requires uncertainty. See, the problem with us is perhaps we are not actually afraid of the unknown. We are afraid of losing control, losing certainty and identity. And that's exactly where our life lives. There was a blind and deaf woman. Her name is Helen Keeler, and she used to say, security is a superstition. Life is a daring adventure or nothing. But what are we doing? We are afraid of losing control. We are afraid of losing certainty and our identity. What is identity? Whatever we consider ourselves to be, because that way we feel safe. Now, why is it that most of us avoid this uncertainty? If you remember brain number 1, brain number 2, brain number 3, brain number 2 is always making patterns and habits. And when we are within the zone of our habits, habits help us to deal with everyday things easily, isn't it? When we are in the habit zone, and that's what our brain loves, it loves to be comfortable. So the moment you are in that safety zone, comfort zone, you are feeling comfortable. And as long as you're feeling comfortable, your brain will never see possibilities. It will never even try and explore new possibilities. That's one of the reasons why we avoid uncertainty or doing something beyond our comfort zone. Second thing is fear of failure, fear of judgment, or maybe because we don't know how to do it. So we forget that we have this infinite capacity to find out how to do anything. And in today's age, where you can Google it, you want to do anything, you can easily find out how to do it. So that should not be a reason to hold us back, is it? So we are avoiding it, why? Because of fear of failure, fear of judgment of others, or simply, not knowing how to do it. And the other one is, I am not ready. So most people spend half their life waiting to get ready to do something. When will you be ready? God alone knows. Now, let me tell you some benefits of the unknown, 3 big gifts of the unknown. They're hiding over there. Number 1, clarity of action. Clarity through taking action. Clarity through taking action. You do not need clarity to act. You get clarity by acting, by doing. A lot of people say, I'm not clear, so I'm not doing it. Hello, start doing it, you might get clear. I'll give you an example. I didn't know what I wanted until I stepped into something new. If you never tried ice cream, would you ever know that you want it? There's something called getting confidence, by confronting the situation. So let me tell you something interesting. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is a result of facing your fear. Whatever we fear. Some people even fear cracking a joke in front of their wives. You face your fear, you will get confidence. One very interesting thing which I've found very useful, micro stretches, stretch a little bit more, regularly do one thing that you are afraid of or something that you are resisting. If you're resisting going for a walk, take a walk. If you're resisting taking a micro break during your office timing, take a micro break. If you're resisting to say something or ask something to your boss, thinking that you might look silly, talk to your boss. Now, another thing you want to understand is that when there is a little, when you unsettle yourself, when you create some chaos in your life, a lot of your hidden creativity is going to come out. It's called creativity through chaos. Now, the unknown obviously seems to be messy, no? You don't know how to handle it. You don't know what's going to happen. But that's the situation in which you will naturally have to innovate in order to survive, no? Every transformation in life, in history, has come from someone who said, I don't know how, but I'm willing to do it. And let me find out what happens. Like they say in Hindi, मैं कर रहा हूं, देखी जाएगी क्या होता है. So let's do a little exercise, like an experiment. And you can respond if you want. What is one thing unknown that you've been avoiding? Yeah, just visualize that. What is that one thing that you have been avoiding? Something unknown, therefore you're avoiding it. And what if actually going and doing it is exactly what you need less? Next. So just imagine that. Something that is unknown that you've been avoiding, and you're actually going and doing it. With curiosity, with courage, you're doing it. Imagine that you are actually doing it. Now, what opened up for you? Anything that you became aware of when you did this, you can share with me. You're still in it? Come on, come on, come on. Let's hear you. And those who are watching us on YouTube or wherever, you can write your comments in the comment box. Hello, people. Did you do the exercise? Or are you still in it? So what happened when you did it? Yes, sir, Mr. Baliga.
Yeah, if nobody is starting, I thought let me talk about that. Good morning to you all. This is may not be a big thing, but definitely it is known. We had one town hall kind of a thing for our team in one of the zone. Basically, I was called as an audience basically there, and in that one of the big project which my CTO was a leader for that. He delivered that speech there in Bangalore when it happened in front of big people. This was a cluster level with 80, 90 people over there in Gulbarga, one of the cluster. All of a sudden, that project was told to me to tell it to the people because the persons who were delivering were not aware about that project. I was knowing the subject, but I don't know. Some of the portions I was knowing, some of the portions I was not knowing. They immediately called, why don't you deliver this subject? I was not knowing the complete, but I took about 10 to 15 minutes download for my team without any flaws over there. And I thought, yeah, I could do that, which my boss delivered in front of big people. I could deliver that 10 minutes talk on that subject to my team or whatever was supposed to be known. So I think it is little relevant to the topic what you spoke, I think.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for sharing it. I'd also like you guys to share what happened when you visualized just now. If you did not, it's fine. Just let me know that you know that I did not. Okay, so let's continue. Let me give you some action steps. Practical steps that you can do to keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Number one, I call them as micro leaps, small jumps. So do one uncomfortable action every week. One action which makes you uncomfortable. Do one such action every week. Second one is reframe your fear, use your fear. See, normally when we have fear, we kind of skirt around, we kind of avoid the situation. What I'm saying is use it as a signal, not to stop, but to pay attention. So anything that you're afraid of, explore it and see. Let me pay attention to it. Let me do it and see what happens in my life. Always have a strong anchor. Remember your purpose. If your purpose is strong enough, yeah, you will know how to go about doing things and how to get out of that comfort zone that's holding you back. So I just remember, guys, the unknown is not your enemy. The unfamiliar is not your enemy. It is your invitation to step into a greater version of yourself. You know something? The life that you want is not on the map. You've got to create a map for yourself. You'll have to be willing to go into unknown territories that's not been mapped so far. So it's good to say yes to the mystery, the unknown, because your next level in life is perhaps waiting where your comfort zone ends. I believe it's a good practice to remind yourself every day, hello, am I slipping into my comfort zone? Good question to ask yourself every day. Huh? Am I slipping into my comfort zone? Am I getting stuck in my comfort zone every day again? What will open up for my life when I step out of it? And let me tell you something, guys, your comfort zone is created by you, by your judgments and your decisions and your conclusions and all your calculations based on that to stay safe and comfortable. So that's it. Thank you very much for being with me today.